In this video, we're going to be covering how to create show forms and modify your shows. To do so, what we're first going to want to do is navigate to the projects page. To navigate to the projects page, you can select the Producer Program dropdown and select My Projects. From there, we are going to scroll down to our current projects, and only with current projects are we able to create shows. So let's create a new show. In this situation, I've gone out and filmed something. I have something that I recorded, and I'm ready to upload it to the distribution platforms, and I'll need to create a show form to make that happen. So let's say, for example, I'm going to create a project here. Let's select a current project, and we're going to navigate over to Add a Show. Now, if I select that, that's going to open up a new tab here where we can fill in the show form information. So I'm going to scroll down all the way to the bottom here to give you a sense of what this looks like. This is all of the information that our programming team needs in order to get this programmed on our channels. So you're going to walk through this with me and watch as I create this. So I'm going to create a show name. We're going to call this My First Show, something basic. We're going to make a title. We'll call this AP Staff Productions. Just as an example, we are going to fill in the description of the project. Be as descriptive as you can, but do your best to keep it brief as well. From here, we're going to select the show type. In this case, this is something that I filmed in the field. I'm going to call this a pre-recorded file. You also have the option for live studio feeds and live remote feeds. Okay, then you're going to let us know if this was filmed within the local production area or out of area. That's also an important bit of information for our programming team. We do report on those numbers. And then it's going to ask you if this is your first time airing this on Awesome Public. I'm going to say this is my first time. And then it's going to ask if your content contains any mature or adult content. In this case, I'll say none. But if you fill this out, you'll see that we have information for each. So for mature content, and that content would include profane or sexually suggestive language and or adult situations, can be programmed anytime with a warning label. But adult content, which is sexually explicit language, extreme gore, and or nudity, can only be programmed between midnight and 5 a.m. So it's very important for you to let us know what kind of content you're submitting to the channels. That way we can program it accordingly. But at the end of the day, that is your responsibility as the producer to let us know this information. Okay, and if we scroll down, it's going to ask if this contains any obscene content as defined by the state of Texas. And if I open up this link into a new tab, it will define the Texas obscenities laws if you're unsure or need to refamiliarize yourself with what that exactly means. If the answer is no, you'll hit no. If the answer is yes, it cannot air on our channels or streaming services. And this is something you need to be honest with us and let us know. Okay, then it's going to ask what the duration of the content is. In this case, it's a 30-minute show, 28 minutes, 58 seconds. It can be any time. And then we're going to list your file name. So I have my show file created and I've named it something. And you'll see here, kind of transparent, you'll see file, episode, name, 001. So let's just say this is AP Pro for Productions, episode 1.mov. Great. Then we can list the show category. So this is just different types of shows that we have. Do your best to indicate which category your content falls most into. So let's say that this is a political and social commentary kind of show. Okay, then we can move on. And this is where you're going to input your programming requests. Producers are guaranteed at least 3 airings for each file you upload, and at least 1 air date is required to submit this form, and the rest are optional. So this is where you can fill in those times. So let's say that I want this particular piece of content to air next week, July 16th, and we're going to choose an air time request, let's say 10 p.m., and we want this to air on channel 10. Okay, that's great. If we can fit it into our programming schedule, we will, unless there's a conflict with another series or another show form. And if that happens, our programming team will reach out to let you know when it actually can be aired. Then you can submit other dates as well if you wanted to submit a couple times, or if you want a couple of different options in case you're submitting in a particularly busy time of day. Okay, so now I have 3 different dates and times selected. And if you're a live studio show, this is important as well, because if you are recording out of our studios and you'd like to go live, you need to let us know so we can pick up that feed to show it on the channels. So this is where you would say, like, yes, I've reserved Studio 1. Let us know if there is a live studio in attendance and if there's any special requests that you need for the show. I'm going to clear that for now. All right, so live remote shows are possible, and let's say, for example, I was submitting a live remote show, and this will walk you through what you need to do. So we provide laptops and Restream and StreamYard accounts for offsite remote streaming. If you need more information or you need a custom RTMP feed, RTMP feed created, then you can email charles@austinfilm.org to get one set up. And it's important to get this squared away prior to going out into the field to record and go live. And then at the very bottom, we have the information for file uploading and all the steps to complete it. So step 1, you'll go to this link here. You'll have your login information and your what you do. You'll drop in the file where it says, and it has some information here that's important. It needs to be in full HD at 30 frames per second. If you have any notes for the programmer, you'll note that here. And when you hit submit, it'll take a moment. And when it does, it will say, thank you, your show form has been submitted, and it will remind you how to go and upload your file. You click on this, it'll take you to our Connect server where you're able to go and upload content from this page. So you'll see here we have drop files here to upload, drop that in, and then that will go into our servers. And when our team sees your show form, we can put 2 and 2 together and get that programmed for you. Okay, so now that we've submitted a show form, let's go and review this information in the portal. So we're going to go back up to the Producer Program tab and scroll down to My Shows. Okay, great. And now you'll see a list of current and past shows. Current shows are shows with air dates in the future. Past are shows that have already aired. And just like projects, if you click on any one of these, you'll have different options for each. So we have some test shows that I've done and a show for something else I'm producing. If I click on one of these, I can view show details. And so you'll see all of the information that we've filled out previously. As soon as it loads, there we go. Cool, so live remote feed, air dates and time. So if you ever needed to refer to this information quickly, that's how you can do it. Okay, then you're also able to clone a show. So let's say, for example, I want to submit another show form for my first show, the one we just created. And I want to clone that. And if I clone that, that will show me another show form with all of the information I just put in here. So you'll see my title, my description, all of this information. In this case, what I want to update is the air date and time. So let's say in the previous one, those were all air dates that were in July. Now I'm going to select some that are in August. So let's change this to August 1st at 2 p.m. on channel 10, and so on and so forth. We're going to make this August 8th. We're going to leave that 8 p.m., channel 10, and then the new air date and time, August 15th, 8 p.m., channel 10. Then when we hit save, it will have been cloned. Click here to go to the My Shows page. Okay, and once we're back on the shows page, you'll see that I have that cloned show. I didn't do a very good job at making them different, but you'll see that now I have 2 My First shows. Okay, so it might be in your best interest to maybe do My First show, like airing 1, airing 2, just a way so you can tell them apart. Okay, so let's click on that, and let's say I want to get rid of that. I made the airings in August, and I'm not really feeling that. I'd like to change it. In addition to cloning shows, you can also retire the selected show. If you click on that, that will take you to a new page. And what this does is it lets our programming team know that you no longer want this show to air. Okay, so this is most important and most useful for shows that have occurred in the past. So in my case, I have a show that I uploaded a while ago, and it was there was something wrong with the file, and I had to re-upload, and that's why I have 2 of these shows. You'll see Video Goal in current and past shows. I don't need this anymore. So if I want to retire this, you'll click on retire, and it's going to let our team know that you no longer want that show to be aired. So if this is a piece of content that you have created and you've shared with us to meet your requirement to air something on the channels, it's aired a couple of times, it's aired the guaranteed 3 times, but you no longer want it showing up on the channels, you are more than able to come in here and elect to decline from having your content aired again. Once content is submitted to us and in our servers, we will hold on to it and air it again whenever we need to fill time, or if there are certain seasons that it might be appropriate to air something, we'll do that. But if you really are feeling strongly about not wanting that to air anymore, you can go and select that show, hit retired show. We're going to go and find that show form and the file associated with it and remove it for you. But that is something our team will need to intervene on, and then once that's been removed from the system, that will no longer show up in your shows.